What up, what up, what up? Welcome back to another Thirsty Thursdays with your boy, A-Rob. Today is actually Friday, and I know I've done this many times, but I have a good excuse. As many of you have been watching my vlogs know, I have been kind of going through this week of trying to kind of focus on my business. I took a week off of work at Domino's, and so I'm kind of coming into it, trying to do some new things, and it's been a good week so far. I think I've gotten a lot done, kind of put myself into a good space to kind of hit the ground running with my business, to be more creative, to be more proactive with making these videos. And so today's Thirstay Thursday. It is coming out on a Friday morning. I'm staying up. It's about, what is it? It is 4:07 right now in the morning. I just finished a few videos for my father-in-law, and I'm working on one for my bro Ethan, trying to get him on that Appalachian Trail. So it's been a busy day. It's been one heck of a week, but I've had some good times, had some good laughs, and it's time to take a little drink, get a little crazy with it. So I'll show a little video at the beginning maybe of hanging out with James the day before my birthday party, and we got a little something at Fisher's. This is from Arshays. It's up in Akron. It's a nice little brewery up there, and this one's called Our Darkest Hour. So pretty stoked about this. It is a coffee and toffee flavored imperial stout. It is 9.25%. It is like at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, what am I about to be doing right now? But you know what? You know what the kids say? YOLO. All right, so we're gonna get into it. I got that little snifter. It's been a little frosty. I love a good frosty glass. Trying a little bit new lighting setup too, so I hope this looks a little better. Doing a little laugh mic. Hello, how's it going? This room is very echoey, so I'm trying to litigate some of that. So, all right, let's get into this bad boy. Oh man. Ooh, love me some toffee. All right, let's get it going. This thing is gonna be black. I love a good dark beer, man. Even though it's like 4 a.m. in the morning on a Friday, I still consider it a Thirsty Thursdays. Oh, buddy, listen to that fizz. Oh, can I do it to the very tippy top? Maybe cutting it a little too close. Uh-oh. All right. Filled that a little too tall. Holy crap. I don't even know if I can pick this up anymore. Let's give it a little smell test. Very dark, very it's like a plum, like plum notes kind of. Definitely taste that chocolate kind of cocoa smell, and a little bit of caramel kind of. So I'm gonna just. Oh wow, dude. It almost tastes like a licorice. Like, not like black licorice, because I am not a big fan of black licorice, but kind of like that flavor. Like, it's sweet, but it's not like overwhelming. And then on the way down, it kind of tastes like one of those toffee candies, like that you get at like a fancy restaurant at the end of your meal. You get a little fancy candy. It's pretty good. I like this. I don't think I've had a beer on here that I didn't like. So that's good news. I don't know. So, a lot of crazy stuff happening in the world. I mean, 2020, it's been a crazy year. Just hands down, one of the craziest years of my lifetime, really. I mean, unless you want to consider 9/11, it was crazy. I actually went on a trip to New York City with my aunt, I think the year before. It was the first time I ever went there. And I remember seeing the Twin Towers, and I remember seeing it on the TV on that day, and just being like, I've seen those in real life. Like, it was bizarre to me. That probably takes the cake, but I would say 2020 is probably a close second of my lifetime. But anyways, crazy stuff's happening in the world. Over the last 24 hours, it's kind of exposed us to how sensitive our information is on the internet. So some big major Twitter accounts were hacked yesterday, and it was like unprecedented, I think, for the kinds of Twitter accounts. So you had Elon Musk, Apple, Joe Biden, and Bill Gates. So some pretty heavy hitters in the world were involved in this attack, in this hack attack. I don't know. And they all kind of said the same thing. I'll read it for you. They're all kind of like little variations of this, but basically the tweet was, I am giving back to the community. All Bitcoin sent to the address below will be sent back doubled. If you send $1,000, I will send back $2,000, and I'm only doing this for 30 minutes. And there was like a string of like letters and numbers for the account. And, you know, people were duped, especially because at this point, there's been a lot of big people on the internet that have been giving out money to help people through this epidemic. And like people like Bill Pult and even H3, they've been giving out $500 to 3 people a day. And so, you know, when you see something like this, if there's somebody out there that's struggling, they probably thought to themselves like, oh, this is, you know, I need some cash to help me go, you know, get going. But it was a scam. And something, I guess, around $130,000 were kind of deposited into this account, and I believe in Bitcoin. So it was no small amount of money that this guy stole from who knows how many people. And then Jack Dorsey from Twitter, he said in a quote, "We detected what we believe to be a coordinated social engineering attack by people who successfully targeted some of our employees with access to internal systems and tools." And so it kind of showed that, like, in this world that we're living in, there are ways for our accounts to be hacked and to be used for a whole number of things. So it kind of got people a little wary of what, you know, their information is being used for, how easy it is to access people's information. So if you do have a Twitter account, if you have Instagram, I would, you know, I should probably do this. I'm going to update my information. If you can do the 2-step authentication process, you should do that. Having updated passwords and kind of being on top of that is a good thing, especially in this day and age. In cameras, so last week I talked about the EOS R5 that's going to be able to do 8K raw footage internally. But today, or yesterday, whatever day you want to consider it, Blackmagic just released a lot of information on their new camera. It is called the Blackmagic URSA Mini Pro 12K. Like, it's getting a little crazy with these cameras. And it comes in under $1,400. Like, to be able to do 12K, like, it's hard to even, I don't even know if I've seen any footage in 12K. Like, I've watched some of their footage on my iPad, but that doesn't even begin to like show you like the resolution of 12K. And it was crazy. I'll show a video right over here of kind of what they were doing. And they showed a picture of a boat, and they pulled back and they showed what 4K would be, and then they pulled back and it was like 6K, and then it was like 8K, and then boom, like 12K. Like, you could zoom in on like yourself on a ship from like a mile away. I actually don't know, that might not be a mile away, but it was pretty nuts. When is it going to be too much? I don't know. I mean, I shoot most of my video in 1080p still because, well, one, I don't think my computer, it's like a 2013, I don't think that can handle anything higher than like 4K. I've done some stuff in 4K, but unless I'm doing like a project where I know I'm gonna need to punch in a little bit, it's just too big of files. And I also don't have like a big storage workflow yet. I have a couple terabyte hard drives, and then I rock one of these Lacies, and it's got 4 terabytes on it. And at the moment, that's enough for me right now. Once I get more projects and stuff going forward, and once these videos and everything else start like really eating at that 4 terabyte, I'll eventually need to upgrade. But at the moment, I'm like, is there really a point? Like, do I really need to do that? I don't think so. All right, so unfortunately, last night when I was editing, I got about halfway up until this point, and then I realized that the rest of the video, for the most part, I am completely out of focus. So I wore the same shirt, brought back the mood, and I'm gonna finish up this episode. I'm so annoyed, but these things happen. That's just the way the world works, and we're gonna work our way through it. I actually have, you know, I thought might as well get another beer. So I got Hop and Frog. It's the Turbo Shandy Citrus Ale. Hop and Frog, they're up in Akron. They're really good. They have really good food too. But they have some of the darkest beers I've ever had. They have a couple that are like, it's crazy. Like when you pour it out, it's like, it looks like jet fuel, and like you can't see it through it at all. And they have a couple like double bock beers, and whew, so good. It's a little lighter, and you know, I'm recording this again, so let's just, I got it in a little mason jar. So we're starting from the top. Ooh, man. It smells kind of like a grapefruit, and usually I'm not a big grapefruit fan, but let's try it out. Ooh, wow. That is very lemony. Like it almost tastes like a lemonade you get at a fair, but less sweet, like not as like overpowering with the sweetness. That is a summer drink for sure. That is perfect for the summertime. I probably should have saved this for like if I was at like a lake or something. I think we're going Sunday. All right, so where was I? We were talking about the new 12K camera from Blackmagic Design, and some of the advantages of using this camera is that you can edit with their native DaVinci Resolve. And DaVinci Resolve is actually one of the first programs I learned on. I don't use it as much anymore since I got Final Cut Pro X, but it's a really good program, especially the free version. If you are just getting into video, that is a really good thing to download if you don't want to use like iMovie or something. It's very easy to kind of work with, and because it is, you know, the program is made by the same company, their 12K footage is a little easier to handle through that program, and so that kind of solves a major problem with handling 12K footage, because it's just such like heavy resolution, and it takes a lot of computing power to get that out there and kind of work with it and scrub through the footage and just make it usable. So that's a big advantage if someone decides to buy this camera. In the music world, we have a new album that was released by Oliver Tree. If you guys don't know who that is, he is the living meme. He is the Jinko wearing, bowl cut rocking, mom's ski jacket rocking dude from California. And he's been putting out singles and mixtapes and like little EPs for the past few years, and he is a part of Atlantic Records, and kind of a tale as old as record companies. They've been kind of suppressing some of his music and like not giving him the green light to put out a full album. So he's been kind of forced to put out these little snippets of music here and there. He's worked on some really cool, like interesting music videos that are like, they kind of remind me, you know, his style reminds me of like Tyler the Creator back when he was first starting with the whole Odd Future. It's kind of cool seeing new styles like this, and he kind of embraces the meme. And he uses that to get his music out there and to gain respect from his label. And so, unfortunately, he says that this is going to be his last album released under, or is his first and last album released under the moniker Oliver Tree. And I'm not sure exactly what he's going to be doing in the future. He said he kind of wants to get more into film, but we'll have to see. So that album is called Ugly is Beautiful. It is on, you know, it is released now. And he's actually going to be back on the H3 podcast this morning. This is going to be Saturday by the time I put this thing out. Also in music, I just made a playlist of my top 25 songs. It's called A-Rob's Top 25. And I started as an experiment just to see, kind of play around with Spotify and see some of the features that I've been learning about. And so if you guys want to check it out, see what I'm listening to, I'm going to be updating it frequently as I'm listening to new music. And these are going to be the songs that I kind of have like on repeat, and those songs that I listen to over and over again, and I annoy my wife. so yeah, it's you know, just a little curated playlist I'm playing around with, trying to, you know, figure out what to do with it. And then in podcast news, Spotify is continuing its acquisition of podcasts, and this time it's a podcast that hasn't even launched yet. That's going to be launched on July 29th. Michelle Obama, the First Lady. She is kind of, I don't think it's going to be a very political kind of show. It's going to be more focused on like relationships and how people are dealing with, you know, the pandemic and everything. But I guess she's starting one, and it's going to be exclusively on Spotify. So there's another instance of Spotify making these exclusive deals. And a new recent update, they added more features to their video capabilities. So like if you're listening to a podcast, you can watch, if they have a video that goes along with it, you can watch that video as you're listening to the podcast in the Spotify app itself. And so usually if you wanted to do that, you'd have to go to like YouTube or like Twitch or whatever to see that, but now it's going to be built natively into Spotify, which is really cool, and kind of part of their strategy going forward in the podcast and music world. And I think they're definitely going to be putting more money and more features into their video part of the platform. So keep an eye out for that. I'll keep you guys updated. I'm keeping my pulse on the whole subject. And then today in Podcast of the Week, I'm just keeping it simple today, I want to talk about Indy Mogul podcast. And the cool thing about Indy Mogul is it's focused on filmmakers, cinematographers, pretty much anybody that's in the film world. And it's really cool because they kind of go deep into, they have a different guest each episode, and they go deep into what that guest does, what his expertise is. And I like that they do kind of like a dual thing where they have the podcast where it's more of a long form talking about, you know, how they got into their field, certain things that they certain aspects of their jobs. And then for the video part on YouTube, they will put out videos of them like demonstrating, like if they do music videos, showing how they do those. If they, you know, they are a grip, showing, you know, certain like practical things about, you know, whatever the guest is focused on. So it's a really cool podcast. You get kind of the best of both worlds. And sometimes I like to listen to the podcast and then go watch the videos later. I kind of feel like I already know that person a little bit better because I've already listened to the podcast. So it's a really cool kind of tandem thing. They ask really practical questions. So if you're looking for something that will help you, if you are part of the film world, it's definitely a good podcast to check out. So go check that out, the Indy Mogul podcast. And Indy is spelled I-N-D-Y, kind of like Indianapolis, like they call it Indy. Anyways, like the Indy 500, I don't know. But anyways, that's a little bit of what's going on in the world. I want to thank you guys for following along with the vlogs. This has been another Thirstay Thursdays. It will probably come out on a Saturday morning, but you know, it's been a busy week. Thank you guys for checking in with the vlogs, checking in with everything else that's been going on. Follow my playlist on Spotify. I'll have a link in the description below. And anything else that you wanted to find from this episode will be in the description. Also, I never really asked this, but if you guys would like to subscribe, give this video a like, give it a little comment, start a little conversation down there, see what other people think about these topics. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week. I'm going to be dropping a new video, kind of another third vlog, you know, what's been going on the past few days. And so hopefully I'll have that out soon, and I can keep that rolling. So I want to thank you guys for joining me for another Thirstay Thursdays. Cheers. Have a great week. I'm another year older, and I'm excited to share all this stuff with you guys. So cheers.